All right, so picking up where I left off, gratitude. So this is an appreciation for what one has. It's appreciating what you already have in your possession instead of thinking about what you want. I saw an illustration once. Guy was walking on the street, saw a dude on a bike. Wow, if I had a bike, I could go, so much faster. I get from A to B. It'd be way more fun. Dude on the bike's looking at a guy in a car, saying the same thing. Dude in the car is looking up in the sky, sees somebody in a plane flying. Wow, if I had that, same thing, okay? It's all about appreciation for what you already have because somebody out there is wishing they had it, okay? Some of the good things in your life. Here's some strategies for, maintaining your gratitude. Keep a gratitude journal, write a gratitude letter. You guys can kind of read through these on your own, maybe try them out. So people who focus on gratitude pay attention to what they are thankful for in their lives. They show kindness and compassion to other people, including friends, family members, and even strangers. Obviously, showing gratitude to a stranger doesn't mean go helping them find their lost dog when they show up and ask you for that kind of help. You got to be, obviously, you can open the door for strangers and things like that, but don't go off on a solo mission unsupervised with a stranger. Okay, they could be a bad person. You just don't know. But use your best judgment there. Outlook. So outlook is kind of how you view things, the way of thinking or feeling about a situation. Do you have a positive outlook? Do you have a negative outlook? Okay, and that helps you recover from sometimes bad situations. Are your thoughts realistic and accurate? Okay, that's something. So if something happens and you hurt yourself and you're playing football, are your thoughts realistic and accurate? So that would kind of, if you think it's the end of the world and you want to quit football and it's never going to be the same again, and I might as well give up on the season. I mean, is that accurate? It depends on the injury. If you think you'll never play again, most time you're going to be able to play again unless it's some kind of crazy injury. But you just kind of got to weigh it out. Okay. How big is this in the grand scheme of things? Even if you got to take a year off football or your sport or something you love, in the grand scheme of things, you got a lot of years. It's okay. What are some good aspects to the situation? Maybe you're sidelined for a few weeks. Well, maybe you can work on the mental aspect of the game. Read playbooks, learn new plays, watch film. Okay. So could be good things. Maybe you got more time to hang out with friends or something, other friends. Even if they're, on the football team, you can still be there most of the time if you have an injury. Have you experienced a situation like this before? If you did, how did you recover? What went right? What went wrong? Not a big deal. So it's all outlook, how you look at it. If you think about it and you're just down on yourself and you think it's the end of the world because you got hurt, then it's going to be miserable. But there's other positive things that can kind of come from it. Okay, moving down. Watch self-talk. So self-talk's big. What are you telling yourself every day? Okay, we all have this inner voice. So I'm so hungry. I should have eaten a bigger breakfast, or I should try to speak up in history class today. Maybe you have this inner voice kind of yelling things at you. It's almost like a different person is saying it to you, even though it's yourself. Okay, your inner voice is very strong. So if you have a good inner voice, it's going to help you accomplish things. If you have a negative inner voice, it's going to hold you back. So self-talk. So here's an example. I'll never be good at science no matter how hard I try. This type of self-talk is defeating. It can make you feel worse. It can lead to negative expectations to become a reality. So if you don't believe in yourself and you're like, man, I'm going to mess this up, you're probably going to mess up. One of my best coaches, life mentors that I had, I was playing basketball one time. I was probably 20, 21 at the time, and these guys were all, late 20s, 30 years old, some of them even a little bit older, but they're all pretty good. And I would shoot the ball and I'd miss, and he could just kind of sense the nervousness in my body when I would play with those older guys. And he said, look, man, he's like, you're shooting not to miss. You're constantly getting the ball and you're shooting and thinking, don't miss, don't miss, don't miss. when you got to be thinking, I'm going to make it. They don't want me to have the ball because I'm going to make it and I'm going to score points. Okay. You have to shoot to make. You can't think, don't miss, because you're going to miss. If you're sitting there telling yourself that's probably what's going to happen, gee, I hope it doesn't happen, well, that's what's going to happen. But you have to have that mindset that you have to have a good outcome in your head. What is going to happen when I do this? It's going to be good. If it's not good, I can always adjust to it. Okay? Got to have a good self inner voice. Another person said, every time you walk through a door frame, another leader that I had, every time you walk through a door frame, say something good about yourself to yourself and practice that every single time. It could be small, it could be long, whatever comes to your mind. I'm amazing. I don't care if it sounds cheesy, but if you constantly do that and you practice that, every time you walk into a room, you're going to have a better feeling about yourself before you start talking to these strangers, whatever it is, whatever you're about to do. So just constantly practice building that self-talk, etc. Respect yourself. Obviously, if you don't respect yourself and you don't think you deserve respect, then other people probably won't. If you're being disrespected, it's okay to not tolerate it, walk away, express to the person that you don't appreciate what they're saying. And if that's the case and they're going to continue to say that, then you're, not going to be in their presence, etc., whatever it's going to be, okay? So you got to respect yourself because it's just like somebody else disrespecting you. If you're always talking bad about yourself, it's no different than somebody else doing it, okay? Shifting to positive talk. So you might think negatively, I can't talk in front of other people. I'll freeze up and cry if I have to give a speech. That's a negative thought. If you switch over, public speaking is really hard, but maybe it'll get easier with practice. If you know that everything takes practice, you're going to go far because you know that you can learn everything, just like you learn to do how to ride a bike, like I talked about in another lesson, how to put on makeup. If you learn to do any of that stuff, how to play football, whatever, ride a skateboard, edit on a computer, edit photos. If you learn to do any of that stuff, you can learn something else, okay? You just got to practice and you got to be willing to try. So there's a few examples here of negative thoughts and then what you should kind of replace that with, okay? Self-respect. The definition there is pride and confidence in oneself. Dignity, recognition that all people have the right to be valued and respected for who they are. People are going to be different. It's going to happen no matter where you go, whether it's in high school. People are different. It's, who cares? If everybody was exactly the same, this life wouldn't be as fun, in my opinion. Who cares if somebody, wears a cartoon character t-shirt every day? As long as it's if it's a casual setting, it's not a big deal. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. If somebody only likes to play sports and they're not into anything else and you think they're kind of like a jock or whatever, that's okay. That shouldn't affect you, okay? So everybody has a right to do their own thing within reason, obviously. Some opinions are, very hateful or whatever. As long as it's, a modest thing and it's not really affecting somebody else in a negative way, and it's fair, that's fine, Everybody has the right to kind of be who they are without somebody else infringing on that, okay? And, of course, that can go down a big wormhole of, like, where's the line get drawn? But for the most part, it's just a recognition that, people are different. That's okay. Same kind of similar with that as diversity, people's differences in areas such as race, ethnicity, sex, gender identity, sexual orientation, spiritual beliefs. Live and let live, okay? Live and let live. Cultures are different around the world, just how it is. You do your thing, let other people do their things, okay? Obviously, like I said, that always turns into a political thing too. But using your best judgment, just be respectful to other people's beliefs, have conversation with them, okay? Talk to these people, actually sit down and talk with them. Don't just dismiss somebody without thinking into it at all. Exchange conversation, have a good debate, respect others, let them talk, then you can talk. That's the best way to do it, okay? Respect diversity. Not everybody's the same. Strategies for increasing self-respect. You guys can kind of read these over. I'll read one. Focus on your strengths, not your weaknesses. Talk to people you trust if you have trouble identifying your strengths. If I know somebody well enough and they're like, hey man, what do you think I can improve on? What do you think I'm already good at? I'm going to be as honest as possible with them. I guarantee everybody that comes to me, I can think of something like, wow, that person has a knack for this, or they're a little lazy, but I know that if they did this, they could be really good. Maybe it's sales. I got some buddies that I think they roll out of bed at noon, but man, they could talk your face off. So if they just knew how to wake up a little bit earlier and get more out of their day, and buckle down and got a little more professional, being able to talk very well and being a great talker can make you a very successful career. So they have a lot of strengths. Sometimes it's just, you got to have somebody be a little honest with you, as long as they're giving you good feedback and, telling you that you can get better. That's fine. Okay, parents are good at that too. If they're not giving you any positives or any ideas to improve, then that's not good. So don't take people's opinions if they don't have anything helpful to say. If they just tell you you're a lost cause, that's not somebody you need to talk to. You need to go find somebody else. Spend time with positive people. Okay, let me scroll down here. Okay, that's pretty much it. Spend time with positive people. This is a little figure 5.11, increasing respect for diversity. Be open to and value ideas different from your own. Okay, well, I don't agree with that, but I'm glad that you're passionate about that and you believe in it. This is where I stand. I understand that you're over there, but I respect that. I respect that you showed up today and voiced your opinion on this. Focus on what you have in common with others, not just the differences. We're not all the same, but hey, maybe we like the same TV shows or the same this. Oh, wow, maybe we're not that different after all, other than a couple little things that on the grand scheme of things aren't as big as I thought. Okay, these are just different ways to increase respect for diversity. This talks about when you're spending time with positive people, you're probably going to be more positive. Okay, spending time with positive people is good, because if they're positive all the time, and you start saying negative stuff, they're probably going to be the types like, what's wrong? What's your deal? And you're going to explain it, and maybe you'll talk your way through it, and maybe they can give you good advice. Also, if you just constantly hear people talking about good things, you're going to start to think, well, what do I got going for me? Okay, positive people, it's good to be around them. Okay, when you spend time with people who are happy, the positive mood around you lifts you up. Whenever possible, choose to surround yourself with people who make you feel good. And it goes on to say, unfortunately, I think on the next page here, unfortunately, unhappiness is also contagious. Okay, so happiness and unhappiness are contagious. If you're around negative people all the time and all they do is gripe and complain about their situation, and they don't just sit there and come up with ways to be better at it, and they never talk about what's good in their life, man, that's going to bring you down. You got to find some new friends. You can try to help them, but for sure, try to help them. But if they, just kind of shoot down your ideas and keep being negative, be like, listen, man, if you're going to act like this is not fun to be around. I'm sorry, I like you, but I want to focus on things and how I can get better. If you're not focusing on how you can get better, then you're just spinning in a circle. You're standing in a hamster wheel, and I'm trying to go, okay? I'm trying to go do stuff. I want to have fun. I want to enjoy myself. I want to succeed, and I can't do it if you're not coming up with new ideas and how to be better every single day, okay? So that's pretty much it. Let me know if you have any questions about this stuff. And that's it. Cool. See ya.